Good morning, class. We're back with some Islands of Insight. I'm your teacher, Key of W, and in today's lesson, we're going to go to the final enclave of Serene Deluge and the final enclave of the base game. This was not part of the base game, so this one right here, Shifting in Phase. I've been holding off on this one because I remember this one quite well. And there were lots of comments about this one when it came out because very few people could solve this enclave. And I was one of them, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to head to the Shifting in Phase enclave and at least make a grand attempt at things. I don't remember where it is. I literally looked at a map. Where is it? It is all the way over this way. This enclave has the shifting mosaics, which we've seen before and which I already know I'm not good at. The Mountain of Understanding has no summit. Great, that's cool. It has those, and it has music grids. Now, music grids are not a problem for me because I have such a genius music brain that everyone is jealous of. All the boys want me. But the shifting mosaics, not going to happen. So let's give this a shot. I will do my best. If I don't 100% this enclave in this first go, that's okay. Just like I did with the previous, I can always come back to it. So first things first, I am hearing hidden cubes. They're going to drive me nuts. So we're going to get those for a number of reasons. One reason is, well, I can. And another reason is there's hidden rings. Another reason is that if I'm trying to solve the really hard puzzles and I'm listening to those hidden cubes, I'm going to blow my brains out. Should I want to return, the known realm is my home now. Your path is yours to choose. Where you find belonging is where your journey lies. Know that you will always have a home here for as long as I live. That's great. So I'm hearing cubes everywhere, but I'm not seeing cubes everywhere. I'm seeing rings. Hold on, let's just launch ourselves in the air. I did see a cube there. There. Is there a cube in a tree? I'm hearing it really close to me. It could be down there. Okay. Cube in a tree. See, music grids with 5 pips, music grids with stars. All sorts of wonderful. There's arches. There's hidden arches, cubes, and rings here. What did I do to deserve this? Are you up here? No, you're down lower. You're over this direction. Oh, you're in the statue. Okay. I love this just find 13 hidden objects as the goal instead of specific types of objects. 4-star music puzzle. Okay. Let's keep going until I don't hear any more of that shimmer. There's a cube there. There's that arch. Okay. Any more? Another one. There it is. Okay, there's one up here somewhere. There's another ring. I hear a cube. I hear it. I hear several. There's one down there. There's one like right here somewhere. There it is. Let's try down here. Okay, My guess is I've gotten all those, so we can get those out of the way. Now... Nope, that wasn't a cube. Okay. Let's do the Sightseers. Let's get these out of the way. Now, this is going to be aggravating. I also remember this. This enclave really is just... So, is this going to be, like, over here somewhere? It's going to be just, like, looking at rocks, steps. I gotta find the thing with roots. Usually it's near where you pick it up, but I think in this enclave it could be anywhere. I want to have... There's got to be, like, the stone of, like, the castle in the background. So there is that. Is it this one, maybe? No, it doesn't look like it. It's close with that, because you've got the vines and, like, the stairs and the pillars, but I think it's none of this. I really do think it is closer to the beginning. It's somewhere... Like, it's got to be down here somewhere. Right? But then where... What's that sort of wall? It's not on this side of it. Like, these steps look like they would be the steps, but where would be the roots on the steps is what I'm really looking for. Maybe these steps here? Oh, it might be up here. This looks like it. There we go. Okay, how many sightseers are there? 5. Getting them out of my way. Now that is just the monkey statue. There's the one down here, but it probably is not this one. Yeah, because it's not, it doesn't have a wall in the way. So let's find another monkey, shall we? There is the one that's up here, right? We saw this. No, that's not a monkey. That's a monkey. So it's this guy. There we go. Okay. 3 more of these. Was there one up here? Take a look. That is going to be looking upward at a tree. And I bet it's in here. I bet there's a hole in the top. There is a hole in the top. But I can't see that exact thing through it. It might not be that. Maybe it's... This one doesn't have a hole. I don't think it's looking sideways through a thing. Maybe it is looking sideways through a hole. Maybe there's a hole in one of these looking out in a wall. So maybe... Oh, there's a hole. There we go. Number 4. That is the top of that building, I think. Where's the... Then last, but certainly not least, there is one more sightseer somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to take care of you so you're out of my way. Right? Instead of just solving puzzles as I see them, I'm doing them one type at a time and getting them out of my hair. In the order I would most, or at least like to do them. Where is this sightseer? Let's get a nice high vantage point for a second here. There it is. That is looking through this building. Cool. Now, let's get those shifting mosaics going, and prepare yourself for this taking an unbelievably long time. That is what people remember most about this freaking enclave. So... how do I get any further here? This is so close, but it is not correct. No cigar. This is back where I started. I don't want to be there. This is getting somewhere, but this is in the way. Hold on. I can do this. It's not helpful, though. Oh, it is. It is. I got it. That actually was way faster than I thought it would be. I expected to spend at least 2 more minutes on that. Okay. 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 So this is similar to one we saw in the first enclave, where we sort of have these 2 containers we have to move around, but this will let us... Oh, how do I... Now they're both stuck. I can do this. Now I can't move them anywhere. Because I can move this here, but that's not what I want. I can move that into this space, which is probably what I want. So then when I move these down... Like I can put this in here. This is stuck though. So let's get this out down there. And now I can't move this either. I can do it like this, but now this is stuck. Almost. If I move this, can't get it anywhere else. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I might not solve this one at all. Yeah, the only way is I have to get those out of my way. This feels like it's back where I started. Those 4 are at least out of the picture. But I need to get this... I need to get those gone. They need to be out. This can go back up. And now this is stuck unless... Now they're both stuck. The only way to not make them stuck is this, and move it over. Uh-huh. Because if I want these up, this won't go over to let those in. Oh, this one is devious. I do not know where to even begin with this. I can move this down, but now I can't get that over. This feels like I'm kind of back where I was before. This slowly is moving over, but it's not moving over by a lot. I need... Like, if these come up, it's not helpful because I now can't get this out. So maybe if I somehow get this over, like, one more space... Like, maybe from here. right? Hold on. But I can't get this over unless it's in the spot here. I do not know if this is at all going to work. No, this needs to be in there when I make this. Well, okay, so this feels like I'm back where I started. This feels like I'm back where I started. So, I don't know about this at all. This doesn't help because I can't get anything else. What I would love is to somehow get a piece out on this side. That might be sort of the way to go. But how would I do that? I would need a piece in here when it's as far over as possible. No, it would need to be... Like, I would need to have pieces... I need to swap which one is where, right? I need one in here, and then move this over, and then move it out. But it needs to be like this, but the trouble now with something like this... Well, I didn't make myself any room. That piece needs to be in there. There's just no getting around it. Can I swap these? I genuinely do not know what to do with this one. Does have to be, if I did this, this would never get in there. It has to be this far over. Then this has to come up. We've been in this circle before. We've been going this way forever. But I need this to be further over when it happens. Right? But then we can't move any of them like this. How do I get these? This needs to be over here while this is over here. Is the trick. What have I not tried? Because that's the thing as well, is like, look at moves you haven't tried yet And that's got to be the move. But what have I not tried? If this is up... Now this can't move over, so I can't get rid of these. But this, potentially... No, this just lets me have this all the way over here. Which doesn't do much. Does it let me get another one of these in? Because that feels like such a bad idea. It does not. Like, I can do this. This gets a second piece in, but why on earth would I want a second piece in? Like, what does that get me if I have two? Okay, I don't know this one. I'm going to take a break from that one. I don't get it. Oh, let's reset it, though. I don't get that one. Here... We gotta just move this all the way across. Now, if I move it this way, I can start taking these pieces out. This isn't exactly helpful. I can't move that one. Unless I have this. Can't quite get that where I want it to be. I can move this up, and then that can come out this way, but it doesn't help. Maybe. Still not exactly. This isn't quite. But if I do this, no, because this is in the way. This is back where I was before, but I can move this down. Let's see, which piece can I move? As long as this piece can't get back up here, this one will never come back. But is there a reason to move this one down? I feel like there would be, but this one can't go over. This piece to go down needs all of these out. This doesn't help yet. What if I do need these pieces still in here? That traps these. Almost. This is a start. This is a start. This guy's in the way now. How is this helpful? Well... yeah, this just is kind of like... okay, I can move this in here, so what? How do I get this back down? Through. If this one was down here, I could do something probably. How did I get myself in this mess, and how did I get out? Because once these are over here, I bet I can move some stuff there. This was how I got into the mess. If I do this again, okay, we're back. This just needed to move further over that way. So I still think this is the right choice. I do need to get this one up. It frees these spaces here. But now this is trapped. Maybe this goes here. Yeah, still stuck with this. This just could move over one space, we'd be all fine, but I need to get some of this stuff out of the way in order for it to work. I can get one maybe up here. Just the one. Now how do I get that one out is the question. This... yeah, I needed that to be out of the way in order to get... See how hard these puzzles are? See this? See this? You see this, baloney? This allows me to pull these back, but it doesn't let me go any further this way. It does let me bring these up, which I imagine is not helpful at all. This is completely unhelpful. Okay, let's take a break from this one as well. That's what we're going to do. This is going to be a very disappointing episode as I do a bunch of these and not solve them and have to come back to them later. That's why I'm doing these first. Okay, so I bet this one's just a matter of fitting all these shapes into this side. So how do I make a 5 by 5 square? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I need to make a 5 by 5 square. So this could be the piece that goes here, I suppose? Maybe? Let me see how I'd fit these together. This might be in the corner up here, or this one could be here. There. I think so. I think we're going to try to get that one in the corner. Well, this piece is never going to get to the other side of here. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it can. It can if this piece comes down. This is a... I think I start by moving this over. Maybe I do want these down here. Or maybe not. Maybe I don't want those pieces there. These are pretty locked in. I would need to do something like this to free them, which is good. Both of those. This does not help me, however. I can free this piece like this. That puts this back. That just doesn't do anything for me. I can get a piece down here now, which gets it out of the way. No. This piece. Not quite. Okay, this is starting to get somewhere, but I need to get these other pieces out. There's really not a lot of space to work with here. I want to get that over there. That's locked in now. Dang, these are really hard. These are really, really hard. And this might be an episode solely of me beefing it over and over on these puzzles. I'm getting myself so stuck, I don't know how to get back into the main set. Because getting the 5 by 5 arrangement is tough enough. It's just there's so little room to work with that you can't seem to, like, solve the puzzle. Like, if there was a lot more room to work with, there'd be one thing. So once again, we get these separated. If I can bring this over... Okay, this seems to be getting us kind of where we were before. If I can get... This still is not going to get me anywhere, because this stuff is pretty locked in the way I have it, and I don't want that. I don't want that so locked in. So I need to bring these out. This is in the way. So this piece can't probably be here. No, this one could lock into it. Be fine. This is not super helpful. No, we don't want that, because that will lock this piece in place. To get this piece out, it can only come this far. But now we're back where we were before. The idea was to get this piece out. Well, again, these pieces are never going to switch places, because this is 3 tall and this is 3 tall. So it's a matter of finding where this one goes, and then just kind of living with it. I don't think these pieces go here. But what would fit in here? This fits in there. So that fits there, and I can stick this here maybe? It's not going to be this piece. It could be this piece. But now this needs to find a home. Stick that there for a second. That's a lot. If I can get this piece there, we're in good hands. That's in the way. Hold on. Let's see. Here we can get that down. There. So now we have these pieces in play. So what if this piece goes here? It could, or it could be one of these. These two could go up in this corner here. So let's get this one here, maybe? No, this piece goes here. This piece goes here. No, that doesn't fit. These don't fit that way. This fits like this. Now this piece has to go there. Fudge, how do I do that? Unless... Ah, it's in the way. That piece goes there. Now, let's get this back out. That can go there. But then how do I get this where it needs to be? So, does this piece go here? I think that would have to be like that. There. Okay, got it. Oh my god, that's really hard. So it's been about 40 minutes, and I've done 2 of the shifting mosaics. So we might not finish this in a decent amount of time, but I'll see if I can get a couple more. See if we can get one more. Or at least one more, and we'll come back and do them as we need to. I'm going to try not to cheat these ones. Like, I'm basically in my head trying to balance between the watchability of, you know, struggling too hard on puzzles that are hard, like we end up being here for a million years. But on the other hand, I wonder what happens here. Get more space. On the other hand, cheating too much is not interesting to watch either. So I'm trying to balance like what is gonna be the most interesting thing to watch. Oh, this so close. This does need to move down, I think. But then I'm stuck here. Stuck. So for something like the Match 3 speed challenge that I saw that looks like the worst thing that's ever been made, well, that, of course, I'm going to be cheating just because it's just not an interesting puzzle. How did I... Maybe I do need this to be there. No. How did I get this further over? I do not know how I did that. I might have done it by having... this piece over here. So I think I've reset myself to a not great position. So I think we're kind of back to square one here. I want this up here. The only way to do that... This gets it up one space, but doesn't get it to where I want it to be. This traps me here. Is there a way to bring them both there? Okay, this is now up here. I just need to move this down. And we're good. So yeah, the gist of it being finding the balance between like actually doing the puzzles without editing so you can actually see me solve them and it doesn't look like I'm just cheating, versus making sure the videos are at least somewhat watchable. I mean, you can have them on the background and that kind of stuff, that's also fine, but if I don't solve a puzzle in like 40 minutes, it's really, really difficult to even have on in the background. This is gonna just be tedious, so we're gonna bring this over. No, let's see how can I remake these? Like this. So we can bring this piece up. In like so. Down. Over. And like this. Now the question is how to get these out of the way. And this question is not answered, dang it. What if... Let's put this back where it came from, or so help me. So this isn't going to come down. This will come over, though. That's the answer. That one was one of the only not too difficult ones that we have. And this looks like the same puzzle, but with... Oh, these are even longer. How would I move these out of the way so that this can go through? Ah, this would have to go down, this would have to go up, and we're going to go through the center of it. You see what I mean? Because even if these two were squished together, there's only one gap wide you could fit this through. So if I move this down a space and this up a space, I could fit this through. So once more, I think we're going to start with one of these. Let's start actually like this. And immediately lose. This is something, because we can start moving these out of the way and not really get anywhere. We can move this like this. That actually gets stuff out of the way. Here, we start to have a plan. we need to move this leftward. This needs to move down. Maybe, hold on, this one stays there. This doesn't help me. Okay, there's a way to do this. There's a way to get this. No, this is not really helping. This is the way. Out. This would be nice. This puts me back where I just was. So it's a matter of getting this over. What if I move this down? And no, that's actually where I was. Can I move it over from this side? This might be easier to do. Because I can do it this way, and we're done. Ah, that's it. So I've done 5 of them. Tell ya what, we're gonna save the rest for later, and we're gonna start doing music grids. So here we go, advanced music grids. Okay. There. That one's just listening for each individual drum track and just... yeah. So what this game tends to do with the music grids to make them harder is instead of making them like more complex music, they just play the music really fast and just kind of have it random. So it doesn't sound very good. And that's what passes for hard music, which I find quite irritating. So just have a C major scale. There we go. That's not too bad. And yeah, it's easier if the music follows a pattern, but you can make the music more interesting and complex by sticking to those patterns. Like, you know, a logic grid. That's for sure. Oh, so there's no click in that. Interesting. Oh yeah, there's this I'm not going to do. Oh, that's because I tried that one and got stuck. But we might be able to do all of the music puzzles because, well, might as well. I think that's the lower line. Yep. There. So the eventual thing of having 2 or more notes together really ups the complexity level, and you can do some really interesting stuff with that, but this game doesn't seem to do anything with that. It's just a little too bad. Okay. Like, if you have good ear training experience / just a good ear, this kind of puzzle is not really that difficult. But the ones where it just feels like random notes in a random order, that can be irritating. Oh. This is Towers of Hanoi. That's what that looks like. I'm going to do it not today, though. A flat major scale. Yeah, like that's not quite random, but it just sounds like it doesn't really have a lot of like melody to it. There. It's you know still more challenging than some of the other stuff, but it feels like it's more challenging because it goes by very quickly. You can't pause and listen to anything in depth. You can't stop and think about it. You just have to be able to hear it very, very fast. Oh dear. Looks like the E Lydian scale. Yeah, come on. Like, is that 3 or 2 up there? I don't know if it's 3 or 2. Here, let's do this. It is 2. Like, that's not musical. That's just random gibberish, and I think that's bad puzzle design. It should be music. If you're gonna do music grids, if you're gonna make it based on sound and make it musical, make it just a song. Make it a real song. You don't have to use an existing song. Write something for it, but make it sound that way because then you're engaging sort of the logical reasoning part of the brain that's trying to figure out how the song goes, rather than this random crap. This is just bad. Trust me, there's ways to make really, really difficult puzzles without resorting to this. I should know I did lots of dictation in college, and they made some really hard stuff without doing that. Oh, good old E-ish major scale. Let's hear that again. So the melody is. Then we have our low note. This sounds like music. And it's still going to be tricky for someone who doesn't have necessarily a great ear, but you can sort of see how this pattern works. It is not a visual pattern. You can't tell what's going on visually, but if you hear it, you can tell what this is. It's not random gibberish. Anyway, I'm going to complain about that just over and over. It really is something that irritates me. Well, C minor, C natural minor. That's your melody. I just was off by 1. That's fine, puzzle. Okay, there's going to be more music grids. I've solved 7, but I don't think I've solved them all. Here's another one. Okay, let's just drums. Here's your melody. Let's do the melody first. There it is. The drum ones are a little harder for me, but I still think those are fine. Okay, here's the guess. We haven't played it. It's going to be really fast, and the rhythm's going to make no sense. Ready? Here we go. There it is. The rhythm barely holds together. So let's listen to this. Okay. Really? This, it's crazy. Here, let's break this down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 bars. Let's listen for that. Oops. So this is the first bar of bass. There. Okay. Is it here? It's here. There. Okay. After hearing it, the cymbal pattern is the only one that is like really clear. Like you could make this a drum beat, but this is pretty cruel to try to do as a pattern grid. It's just it's too fast. You can't slow it down and really listen to it. So people who don't necessarily have good ears, you know, RIP. You're not going to get that puzzle. The melody ones are going to be easier for some reason. It's just easier to pick up on those. Okay, we've got a few trickier. We've got a 4-star music puzzle. Okay, here's your drums. There's your A major scale-ish. Come on. Like, listen, does that sound like something you're going to write down? All right. Okay, drum time. Okay. There it is. Like, for me, this isn't crazy hard. It just feels random. It just is like random stuff. You could make really, really difficult music grids if you started following some sort of logical rule set. Alright, so we just have these 3 notes. Okay, it's going to be fast and crazy. Come on. I think that's it. That's for... Is it... Okay, so it's going to be 3 in between each thing, I think. Oh, God. Okay, so what's... I'm going to use this. It's just so fast, and it goes by, and it doesn't quite fit, and you got the double notes. You can't tell where the double notes are because it just sounds like an echo. It's just really not great. So They should have hired me to do the music grids. I would have done a better job because I am a music genius. Thank you. Okay. That's moving around a bit in the scale. Okay, so we got two voices. It starts with this. So that's where that is. And that's much easier because it's slower. You have time to process the pattern. And the scale is odd. It's kind of like an F minor with some the sort of melodic minor going on, but it's not crazy out of the realm of possibility of a piece of music. And really what it comes down to is the less like music it sounds, the more difficult it is. Where I just don't think that's great puzzle design. It should be difficult even if it still sounds like music. Oh, good grief. Rather than making easy puzzles which sound good and then just making nonsense gobbledygook to make the hard stuff. Alrighty. Okay, it's a scale, but it's separated by octaves. Okay, that's actually not going to be that hard compared to the other stuff, but it starts there. Okay. Now I don't know how many times this note is hitting. This note, because it sounds like it's repeating, but the trouble with repeating notes really quickly, especially with this sound font, is that it eventually sounds like an echo, so you don't know exactly how many times it's being played. That is annoying. I think it's twice. Okay. So like I couldn't tell if these were being hit twice, if they were echoing, or if this was twice. But that's it. I think that's all the music grids in this level. That's not true. There's one over here. Drums. Ah, good grief. It's going to go by fast. So that is supposed to be easier than that over there. I have a feeling non-musicians put this together, because this is actually way harder. It's just... I think... I cannot tell. So what we're going to do first... That's wrong. So that isn't the first. Let's check. It's so fast you can't tell where the beat is landing. That is not cool. So these are going to be wrong too. So these are going to be here. Is this it? Really? What? No. No, is it this? Is it that? It's just, it's a thing you can't tell where the beat is. You can't tell where anything is. It's random gobbledygook. You can't tell where the beat starts and ends. I'm just very, very disappointed with how they chose to make these puzzles. See, when I'm listening, I'm watching this playback line. See that? See that? I'm watching that. And it's going, it's hard to tell when I hear the sound of the drum where the playback line is on this thing. It's just difficult to tell where it is. So I can't tell if it's there or here. Listen for this sound. Listen for the very first one, and you see if you can figure out, without a shadow of a doubt, which one of these two it is. That sounded like this, didn't it? How about now? That sounded like that, didn't it? Bad design. Okay. We're going to do this, and we're going to just foresight it. Okay. I'm hearing the snare going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So something's got to have 5. Like I could do this. Okay. It is this one. Again, it's okay. I've got the right number of cymbals. There's 4 of those. This is how many clicks there are. There's 6. The snare is only 5 times. The bass drum. Okay, it isn't here. Is it there? It's also kind of cruel to not start on the first beat when it's hard to tell when it starts. It's so fast. So you usually think the first thing you hear is going to be this. It's not that one. This is really frustrating because of just the sheer incompetence of this design. Means I'm guessing. I can hear just fine, but I can't hear where it is in this really quick pattern. I think these are correct. I think those clicks are correct. I think those snares are correct, so it's the bass. But it goes by so quick, you can't tell when there's a double when there's not. That sounds correct as well. So really all you can do is just foresight it until you get the answer. This is the worst one so far. And I realize now the game's not in development anymore. There's a lot of good stuff about the game. I really do think Islands of Insight generally is one of the best puzzle games of the last few years. I just think that these music puzzles are an example of why you ask musicians to make puzzles and you don't ask puzzlers to make music. Not to be an elitist or anything, but you should have asked somebody with music theory knowledge to do this. And if someone with music theory knowledge did this, you would never know. So let's try this again. Let's see where I've missed a piece. That one's not there. I'm hearing 2 bass drums. That's it. Okay. God, this is terrible. Awful design. Well, that's a great way to end this episode with one of the worst puzzles I've played in this whole game. Yeah, so, not to be too negative, but yeah, the music puzzles are bad. We'll come back for the rest of the shifting mosaics just because they're very hard and they're good. I think the music ones are bad, but and the difficulty is wrong, but the shifting mosaics are very difficult, and I think they're well designed. So we're going to leave it there. So we've done this enclave, but we haven't completed it to give us like the check mark to say it's complete. That will require us finishing off those shifting mosaics, and then we'll have that one complete. We have this enclave, which we can go to soon. We can go to it anytime, really. And we have, of course, the mysteries. We can get more of those and go to the pyramid. So that's kind of our main game stuff we haven't done. I wonder what this is about. I never dealt with this on my first playthrough. Don't know what the Haven of Insight is. So we're going to leave it here. We're going to come back to this enclave in a future episode when I feel like it, and hopefully do something a little more fun next time. But thanks everyone for watching. I've been your host with the most, Key of W with the He of W. Let's grab that while I see it. And I hear a cube. And I see a ring. Alright, bye.